Welcome to the I Am Worthy podcast, where we don't believe in choosing between this or that, but instead we are worthy of it all. I am your host, Brittany Noel, and despite being a licensed therapist, I know better than anybody what it's like to struggle with the doubt and fears behind the pursuit of your success in life, love, and your purpose. So join me as I uncover the secrets to becoming unapologetically worthy so that you can have, do, and be all things. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of the I Am Worthy podcast. I am so happy that you guys are here, tuned in with me for another conversation about what it means to move into this notion of being unapologetically worthy for all of the things that you want in your life. I am Brittany Noel, therapist, coach, author, speaker, but on our podcast, I'm just your friend in this journey as we are uncovering what it means for you to live a life that is unapologetically worthy. So for today's episode, you guys, I want it to be a story time episode. And if you have been on the podcast for a while, then you know story time is when I tell my business and put my business out there so that you can learn more about you and how you move in this world. So I shared this story on my Instagram live. If you follow me on Instagram, I go live every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. And so I shared this story and people went crazy over it. People went crazy over it. So that is the story that I'm going to share with you today. So the question that I got on Instagram was, what do you do while you are waiting for your husband to find you? And it was a very good question because a lot of people have that question. What do I do while I'm waiting to be found as a wife? And it reminded me of a situation I went through years ago. So first of all, I do not believe that I'm waiting to be found by a husband. What I told the viewer on my Instagram is that I believe that we are all moving on our individual journeys. And it's on the journey that you find the person, that you collide with the person that was made for you. And I remember years ago, okay, I was freshly out of my last relationship that was super unhealthy, super toxic. And, maybe 6-8 months later, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm ready to start dating again, right? And so, at that time frame, 6 to 8 months later, you feel as if, I'm not hurting as much. I'm not crying as much. I'm ready to jump back out here in these dating streets. And so that's what I did. Met a young man, we're dating, and we went on our first date. That's what we went on our first date. And the first date was absolutely perfect. We went out to dinner. We stayed at dinner for almost 2 hours and just talked the entire 2 hours. And we had so much in common. We laughed so much. We enjoyed each other. I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is it. He is the one. Do you hear me? And literally the entire time I just kept saying, oh, he is just Brittany made. Okay, he was made for me. All right. And so we were getting ready to go on our second date. And so all week we're talking, on the phone all night, having conversations all week. And the day before we were supposed to go out, he calls me and he says, Brittany, I'm really enjoying getting to know you. I like you so much. I just don't think that this is going to work because I want to go and try to make things work out with my ex. And I was like, okay. I understand. Thank you for letting me know that, right? And I get off the phone, very graceful. And as soon as I hung up the phone, I was like, has he lost his mind? Like, really? This is what you're going to do. And I remember being so angry and so mad because I kept saying, literally, this guy is Brittany made. Okay. He was made for me. And so I get angry. I get mad. And I remember that week, I was like, okay, I was just so disappointed. I stopped praying. I was like, I ain't praying. Okay. Because I couldn't understand why God would let me meet this person that in my head was Brittany made, and he was not for me. Like, what was the point of this whole situation? And so I remember one Saturday morning, I wake up and the sun is coming through my windows, and I wake up just feeling sad and upset about how that whole situation played out. And God came and sat down on the edge of the bed with me as I'm throwing my temper tantrum. And he said, Brittany, I cannot give you your husband right now. Because if I gave him to you now, you would stop growing. That if I were to give you your husband at this moment where you are today, you would become so wrapped up in what he needed from you. You would become so wrapped up in what that relationship needed that you would be trying to fulfill. You would repeat the cycle that you did in your last relationship of becoming everything he needed. And you would never grow into the woman that I called you to be. He said, the man that I have for you is not on this level. That the man that I have for you, you are not the woman that you need to be to have access to him. And I was like, I wish I could argue with you. But it was the absolute truth. That many times, it's not that we're waiting for our husband to find us. It's not that we're waiting for our partner. But many times we haven't evolved into the person that we need to be that will sustain the type of relationship that we're looking for. And so when I say that we are people, as people, we are all on a journey, and it's on this journey that you find your partner when you collide with them. The journey is about becoming more of what you are, discovering what you are and what you're not, realizing what your gifts are, realizing what your purpose is. And as I'm on my journey to becoming the highest version of who I am, I now have access to the man that's been created for me. And where we get this process wrong many times is we're looking for the relationship that's going to complete us now. We're looking for the relationship that's going to make us happy now. We're looking for the relationship that brings us joy now. And the sad part about that is you can find somebody who brings you joy now, and just because they're invested in your now does not mean that they're going to be invested in what you will be. It doesn't mean that they're going to be invested in the woman that you're becoming. And this is why the divorce rates can be so high. Because people are getting married to who that person is now, not anticipating who they're going to become. And because God was very clear about who I had to become, it wasn't true that man was Brittany made. It was not true that he was made just for me. He was made for the version of me that was on a lower level. So what I want you guys to think about, in what ways do I need to do my own self-work, my own internal work, so that I can become the higher version of who I want to be, so that I attract the man that's been designed for me? What will it look like when you're no longer guarded? What will it look like when you learn to love with boundaries? What will it look like when you learn how to communicate? What will it look like when you start operating in your purpose? What will it look like when you start giving yourself permission to show up authentic, to show up whole, to show up full? Those are all things that happen as you are on this journey to becoming the higher self of who you're supposed to be. And what I have found is that as I've been on this journey, the men that I have dated, they have gotten closer and closer and closer to the type of man that I'm asking for. And that's because as you evolve, the type of man you attract evolves with you. As you evolve, your standards of what you want, those things evolve with you. So now you're attracting mates, you're attracting partners that have a lot more to offer. And so now the question becomes, as I'm meeting these people, do they fit into the purpose? Do they fit into the vision? Can you see me for who I'm becoming, or are you just infatuated with who I am? That as you are on your journey to becoming the higher version of who you are, I want you guys to get crystal clear on what this next 2.0 version of you is going to be. And that will help you decide as men come into your life whether or not they truly are made just for you. And what I do know is that once I have access to the level in which my partner is on, I'm not going to have to broadcast it. I'm not going to need a neon sign. I won't be having to jump and holler and scream. That he will see his equal in you. That he will see you in him. That he will be attracted to everything that you are and everything that you will be. That you won't have to be in competition to be seen by him. That you won't have to be an option to be seen by him. That you won't have to be a convenience in order to be seen by him. In fact, the one that is for you is willing to be inconvenienced for everything that you are. So for today's story time, I want you guys to take away the idea that I'm not looking and I'm definitely not waiting to be found, but I am evolving so that I attract the partner that is worthy of me and that I am worthy of. Leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think about that. What do you think about being on your journey to evolving into the higher version of who you are so that you attract your equal? Make sure you like, share, comment this video, and subscribe to the channel because I have a lot more coming your way. Until our next episode, I will talk to you guys later.